Some of you I saw last on election day, others on our party right after, others at the inauguration. But many we haven't been together, and friends, we did it. We should take a moment to celebrate that enormous accomplishment. But then you know from the invitation and from our program today that we think our work is not over. Right. That there is an enormous amount of effort that needs to be put into carrying forth the wonderful movement that built during the campaign. Some of you have heard of Grow the Hope. It's an effort that grew out of our Obama office. We want to help President Obama live up to his highest ideals. And we think as a community organizer, he needs a social movement out there helping him live up to those highest ideals. So you'll hear a bit about that program. You'll hear about exciting things happening within our state. We want you to stay active and involved. So there's an event planned for April, an Earth Day themed event here, a May event. Mark's going to be our main speaker then. We want you to use this as a renewal point, a time where you're going to say, I was active, I enjoyed it, and now I'm going to remain active. I'm David Hart. I was the director of the Montgomery County Obama office. We've known it as the BOO, the Bethesda Obama office. There have been a lot of people that helped set up that office, but none greater than Susie. Susie Turnbull, who was vice chair of the National DNC and is now the chair of our Maryland Democratic Party. We're thrilled to have Susie here as our main speaker for today. Thank you, Susie.
You need to know is that I travel to a lot of offices. In the last week of the campaign, I was in 50 offices in Ohio, Virginia, Maryland, and 1 week, and as you can imagine, in Ohio, there were offices every 25 miles in the state of Ohio, which was unbelievable. But no office was as terrific as the BOO. We did amazing things in Maryland in 2008, and I want to talk to you a little bit about that, just to give you some numbers so you have them in your head. You all know what it felt like to be standing in line waiting for a computer, you know, in the BOO, because the 85 computers were taken, and you were making those calls to people in Ohio and in Virginia and Pennsylvania and Indiana. But what you need to know is that in fact, just the weekend of the election, just the GOTV weekend, 660,000 calls were made in the state of Maryland. Throughout the process, 1.4 million calls were made to battleground states. Not just from BOO, but you know, the whole state. Let's put it this way: 1.4 million calls. We had, but in addition to all of this, we had 250,000 signs, stickers, and buttons just here in Maryland. We had 55,000 people attend 2 events, one in College Park and one in Baltimore with Barack Obama. 55,000. We had 3,600 volunteers who worked with Pennsylvania and Virginia GOTV. We had 3,500 at our victory celebration, 3,500 people. We had 2,852 Marylanders that we know about who moved to battleground states for days. This isn't just for the GOTV, this is for days. We had 869 neighborhood leaders, and we sent 550 people as part of the Maryland delegation to the convention. Pretty amazing, pretty amazing. And all of you were part of all of that. We can all do this again this year, and we can do this under the auspices of however you want to do it. I hope we do it as part of the Maryland Democratic Party. Our governor is up for re-election in 2010, and I can tell you that our party is going to be working to re-elect our governor because of the fact that, number one, we are number 1 in public education in the state of Maryland, in the United States. That's according to Education Week, not just Susie Turnbull. Number 2, we are holding the line on tuition costs in the state of Maryland, where it's been flat for 3 years, and hopefully we'll continue that. Senator Barbara Mikulski is up for re-election. And I got to tell you, one of the reasons we have $3.9 billion coming to the state of Maryland is because of Barbara Mikulski. Who sits on the Appropriations Committee. Not only that, working in combination and cooperation with our state office holders, she was able to help them mobilize immediately to know how they could direct those funds rapidly. And the dollars that we're getting, not only in that program, but through S-CHIP that got passed earlier this year, are things that Senator Mikulski was really critically involved with. And a lot of the people in this room, the majority of the people in this room are women, and I can tell you, Senator Mikulski was the floor leader for the Lilly Ledbetter Act, which is, we have tremendous leadership from our state, with Steny Hoyer as majority leader, with Chris Van Helen as assistant to the speaker and head of the DCCC. We are blessed in our state, blessed in our state. But one of the things that all of you can do is be participants, in addition to all the work that you do through Grow the Hope and all of the individual programs, Obama Organizing for Maryland, is to be part of our local community here. Go to mddems.org, sign up to volunteer, or sign up to get the newsletter. Some of you in this room I've known for a while. Some of you are new friends. But I hope by the end of my term as chair of the party, I'll know all of you, and I will consider you all old and good friends. I thank you for all that you do, and I especially thank David for hosting us today.